Shalom. Call Halayim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the elders of Great Millstone as GMS. Peace and blessing to the occupant of few Aquath across the four winds. This is your brother Batamayan from Great Millstone, Houston, coming to you with a quick lesson. I saw this article, and I first seen a video on Instagram of Macaroni Tony getting beat up at the Galleria Mall. Now, the Galleria is a high-end mall here in Houston. Have a lot of high-end stores. There's even like a skating rink, It's pretty packed, during the so-called holidays. But this is from Fox 26. Macaroni Tony gets beaten up by family at Houston Galleria. Viral video shows. Now, Macaroni Tony is an older gentleman, and he walks around. If you want a depiction, if you've seen They Clone Tyrone, he pretty much was similar to Jamie Foxx's character. So he walks around in those, pimp type suits, different colors and everything. But his signature is he usually has like some type of a feather. So he goes around, he tickling, usually it's grown women. I've seen him out and about, at a couple bars and a couple just like little clubs and stuff around the city. He goes around, he tickling, women with his feather and they dancing. He's usually dancing with them, but he usually doesn't cause any trouble. But you never know, are these women married or not? You never know what's going on. So the title reads, Macaroni Tony gets beaten up by family at Houston Galleria. Now, it's pretty messed up to see an older gentleman getting beaten up. But then again, us in this truth, we understand that that's judgment, coming on front from the Lord. So I had a few precepts that I wanted to kind of go into, Lord willing, this is edifying. First precept I had was Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 9, verse 9. Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction. So as I was stating, he's at these bars and these clubs going around dancing, but he never knows who's married or who's not. He's just, in his own zone doing his own thing. Whether he's spending money on these young ladies or not, he's at this bar, where you can be under the influence, of drinking. I'm pretty sure he has pictures with, hugged up with some women and things like that. But you're not supposed to be around another man's wife. And in this situation, it was another man's kids. And you, as a man, you're supposed to have, protection over your kids. I think they were 18 and 13, according to the article. But, he said he didn't tickle them with the feather. But, most people have seen you doing it before. So, it's really, he say, she say. So, hey, the Lord caused judgment. That led him to his destruction. Like he got his ass beat up, unfortunately. But hey, it was definitely fortunate, for him to receive judgment, because everything is righteous through the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. So just because, you're doing such things like, that's pretty much a form of adultery, he hasn't been punished, I know he's been doing it longer than the last 10 years I've seen him around the city. I'm assuming it's been at least more than 30. I'm 30 plus, so I assume he's been doing it way longer than that. And the Lord finally brought judgment upon him. Hey, everything is perfect timing when it comes to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But the reason why I really wanted to do this article, do a lesson on this article, is because I recently seen him downtown. We were bringing it out not too long ago before this incident happened. And then I seen a couple of brothers look over and they seen him. He was downtown. I think he was on the either getting off the bus or the metro rail downtown. And brothers were shaking their head, and I was like, oh shit, that's Macaroni Tony right there. He had his feather, he had his little colorful suits on. I want to say he had like a vest and some slacks on with the different color gators. If you seen They Clone Tyrone, he pretty much dresses like that on the regular. Like every time you see him, I've never seen him, with the same suit on. But hey, the Lord brought judgment upon him, and that led me to this to the last precepts that I had. Matthew 13:13. I'm gonna read through to like 16. Matthew 13:13. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Esaias or Isaiah, which said, by hearing you shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing you shall not see, and shall not perceive. Matthew 13:15. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. But blessed are your ears. Oh, Salakia. Matthew 13:16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. So I brought this out because he passed by the camp. If I recall, he wasn't too close to the camp, but we lift up our voice like a trumpet. And we're in the feast of blowing the trumpets, the memorial of blowing the trumpet. So, we lift up our voice like a trumpet, but he didn't hear. He wasn't converted. He didn't stop doing what he was doing to come over and, to the prophets. He's not aiding in the ministry or to the body. He's still doing what he do. He's going around the Galleria, and from what I read in the article, that's usually his spot where he goes to. I didn't know that. I never seen him in the Galleria from what I recall, but they say they see him on Saturdays. There was quoted from one person that they got a quote from. But he didn't hear us, nor did he see us. He didn't have that eye salve, But I know he heard us, but did the Lord open his ears to hear, to where he can come, and listen to the camp? He didn't. So, ultimately he received judgment. But we were, going into our lessons, we had 2 camps, actually 2, and then it eventually broke off into 3 camps. So that was 2 to 3 times, opportunity for him, to receive, the word, and ultimately come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. But it was ultimately for him to be judged. So it was executed at the right time for him to do so. So therefore, people that's passing by these camps, it just, in the spiritual aspect, is going to show that people that have passed by or that's going to pass by, judgment is going to start to be executed speedily. Times are speeding up. So, hey, if you're not in the mix of getting this word, coming to the prophets and listening and learning, and repenting, you're going to ultimately be destroyed. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. Call Halayim La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Akim, the Akwath, and even the little Akim across the 4 winds. Shalom and the Baba Ball.